Easily, one can think of cases where two different countries share common borders on an island, such as Haiti and the Dominican Republic in Hispaniola, or the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. However, there is only one island on Earth divided among three nations, namely the island of Borneo, which ranks as the third largest island in the world in terms of area, surpassed only by Greenland and New Guinea. It is divided among three countries, Malaysia, Brunei and Indonesia. So why is the large island of Borneo divided among three countries, and what secrets and stories lie behind this hidden geographical division? Welcome to another video of Geography Tour channel. Borneo is the largest island in Asia and with a distance of 287,000 miles. If it were a country, it would be a bigger country than whole Asian countries like Myanmar or Afghanistan. The island is divided politically between Malaysia and Brunei in the north and Indonesia in the south. About 73% of the island is Indonesia. In the north, the states of Sabah and Sarawak in the east of Malaysia constitute about 26% of the island, and only 1% of the island in the north coast is the government of Brunei. Prior to the entry of colonial powers, Borneo was ruled by the local kingdoms, was included the kings of Brunei, Daik kingdoms and small Malay kingdoms. Each of these kingdoms had their own social and political structures, and their economies were based mainly on agriculture, fishing and trade. But the Dutch first arrived at Borneo Island in the early 17th century, which they initially sought spices and trade with the local inhabitants. As a result of the Dutch East India Company, founded in 1602, and soon took control of trade in the region. Furthermore, the Dutch established trade bases in the coastal cities of Borneo to consolidate their power and sign agreements with the local leaders in the area of Borneo. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the Dutch gradually expanded their influence in Borneo, and through military force and diplomacy, they attempted to gain full control of the island. However, these efforts met with strong resistance from the local inhabitants, and the Dutch established military and trade bases in strategic areas to control Borneo's natural resources, especially its famous spices. Then, in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, Britain became interested in Borneo, and British interests, particularly in the north and west, diminished Dutch influence, leading to the division of Sarawak in the southwest of the island into an independent kingdom governed by James Brooke, the Raja. Subsequently, Britain expanded its influence in other parts of Borneo, establishing trade and military bases, and took control of the island's natural resources. Using diplomacy and local agreements, Britain succeeded in consolidating its power in parts of North and West Borneo, which later became the seat of Sabah and Sarawak. The British and Dutch colonization in Borneo resulted in intense competition between these two colonial powers, with both countries attempting to gain complete control of the island through military force and diplomacy, leading to numerous military and diplomatic conflicts. However, ultimately, the two powers agreed to divide Borneo between themselves, with initial negotiations beginning in 1820, focusing on non-negotiable issues. Nevertheless, when the strategic and commercial importance of Singapore became apparent to the British, discussions resumed in 1823, emphasizing clear demarcation of influence in Southeast Asia. When treaty negotiations resumed, the Dutch recognized the unstoppable growth of Singapore and proposed a territorial exchange, relinquishing their claims north of the Malacca Strait and their Indian colonies in exchange for the British territory south of the strait, which included Bencoolen. The final treaty, signed in 1824, resulted in Dutch control over southeastern Borneo and British consolidation of their influence in the northwestern part of the island. This treaty is recognized as one of the most significant colonial agreements in Borneo's history. In the future, the southern part of Borneo, which was under Dutch control as the part of Dutch East Indies, was administered by the Dutch, who established administrative and military structures to maintain full control of these areas. They exploited natural resources, especially oil and minerals, and brought the local economy under their control. The northern part of Borneo, under British control, was divided into two states, Sabah and Sarawak. Sarawak was governed by the white Rajas, the Brooke family, when Sabah was under the control of the British North Borneo Company, with the British establishing administrative and economic structures to maintain full control of these areas. Eventually, with the end of the colonial era and the formation of independent countries in the region, the island of Borneo was divided among Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei, each of which took control of part of the island. Malaysia has two states in the northern part of Borneo, Sabah and Sarawak, which were under British control during the colonial period and became part of the newly formed Malaysia after its independence in 1963. Indonesia controls a large portion of Borneo known as Kalimantan, which was under Dutch control during the colonial period and became part of Indonesia after its independence in 1949. Finally, Brunei is a small country in the north of Borneo that, due to its oil wealth, is considered one of the richest countries in the world. It was a British protectorate during the colonial period and gained full independence in 1984. Brunei is divided into two main regions and the Totang district, with a strong economy due to its rich oil and gas resources. Its GDP per capita is nearly $37,000, ranking 29th in the world after Spain, South Korea, and Taiwan. So today we know this island with 3 countries within it, but are there 3 other islands besides Borneo? In a way, one possibility is Cyprus, which, in addition to the Republic of Cyprus, has a small British Croatian territory of Akrotiri and Dhekelia, as well as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, which controls a third of the country. But Turkey is the only world power that currently recognizes the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And for this reason, in the eyes of the international community, only 2 countries, the Republic of Cyprus and the British territory, is recognized and 3 countries are not within the island. Also, the division of the island of Cyprus seems very strange, that I have already made a video about it that you can watch. And thank you very much for being with me until the end of the video, and I will see you until another video.